remember that they're changing my voice. I am not gay. So let's look at Psalm 18 again, verse 50. It says, he gives his king great victories. He shows unfailing love to his anointed, to David, and to his descendants forever. When we get into Psalm 20, which is a very short chapter, and Psalm 19 is relatively short as well, we'll see that reiterated. So let's shoot through Psalm 19. Let's get into Psalm 20 and wrap it up, because I know they're going to try to make it so that this sounds corny when it's very important. And no one else should be reading the Bible because they're cheating me out of my right to lead. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Right, his hands, right, warrior works. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. So again, the bridegroom and the champion. When we get to chapter 20, we'll see in verse 4 it says, may he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. May we shout for joy over your victory and lift up our banners in the name of our God. May the Lord grant all your requests. Now this I know, the Lord gives victory to his anointed. He answers him from his heavenly sanctuary with the victorious power of his right hand. Again, warrior works, right? The works of God's hand, right? The skies proclaim the works of his hand. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. And what are the works of his hands? Like the work of his fists. We see that used interchangeably in Proverbs 34 in the New International Version and the New Living Translation. We see here in Psalm 20, it says that he answers him from his heavenly sanctuary with the victorious power of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Okay. So again, verse 4. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. Right, these warrior laws that come from God through the top martial artist ever, the champion, the bridegroom, they refresh the soul. If you're not obeying God to me, your soul is rotting, not being refreshed. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are radiant, giving light to the eyes. So the Lord weighs the heart. Are you in the divine order, with your soul refreshed, your heart refreshed, with your heart full of joy, the joy from serving God? The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The decrees of the Lord are firm, and all of them are righteous. They are more precious than gold, than much pure gold. They are sweeter than honey from the honeycomb. Okay, so they're more precious than riches stored in heaven. Okay, it's the essence, the source of them. More precious than wisdom, it's the source of them. By them your servant is warned, and keeping them is great reward. But who can discern their own errors? Forgive my hidden faults. Keep your servant also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then I will be blameless, innocent of great transgression. May these words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So we see that anyone who sins is a slave to sin, as Christ says in the New Testament. Here in the Old Testament, it says that David wants to be delivered from his transgressions, from his sins, from willful sins, so they don't rule over him. Psalm 20. May the Lord answer you when you are in distress. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and grant you support from Zion. May he remember all your sacrifices and burnt offerings. May he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. Obviously, if your heart's desire is noble and you're in the divine order, obeying God through me. May we shout for joy over your victory and lift up our banners in the name of our God. May the Lord grant all your requests. Now God, in the Bible it says that God has made me like a banner, a gate, the rally point. We see that being used in Isaiah 13 as well. Now, this I know, the Lord gives victory to his anointed. Say, this I know. Said, why don't you know, right? And it's Proverbs 34, Proverbs 30 verse 4, it says, what is the name of his son? Surely you know, right? Who holds the wind in his fists? New Living Translation, fists. Okay, what is his name, right? God Almighty. And what is the name of his son? Surely you know. Surely you know it's a warrior, right? That God's a warrior and his son's a warrior, the top martial artist ever. Now this I know, the Lord gives victory to his anointed. He answers him from his heavenly sanctuary with the victorious power of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, right? Some trust in guns and tanks and drones and planes and bombs and nuclear bombs. And some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They are brought to their knees and fall, but we rise up and stand firm. Lord, give victory to the king, answer us when we call. So again, for the umpteenth time, as the saying goes, why am I the top martial artist ever? First and foremost, I'm the most righteous person ever. Okay, martial arts are about building character. Their smear campaign has no effect. They've completely discredited themselves. Well, I've stood firm with moral precision. Okay? But what makes it clear is a mix between what you know about Nigerians and the Nigerian royal family, the Igbo royal family, my family, not the one that, might be put front and center, maybe from Neri or something, but the actual airy cult center, right, if you will, cultivative center, okay, not some kind of sex cult or some evil cult or whatever, cannibal cult or whatever these cults do these days, occult weirdos, right, but an actual cultivative cycle of moral precision. No weirdo occult stuff, no magic, no nonsense, just truth. Okay, from the wordplay, Kuro Obi black belt. Obi means King Heart Anson Center Temple Core in Igbo. Obi in Japanese means belt, a sign of rank, right? Obi spelled backwards is Igbo. One way to spell my tribe, another way to spell is IGBO, where the G is silent. Okay, and of course the word chi is also an Igbo word. In Eastern philosophy, it means energy and so on and so forth. Okay. So notice it ends by saying, Lord, give victory to the king, answer us when we call, right? Give victory to the king, right? David versus Goliath. And even Wikipedia knows that Saul was supposed to fight Goliath himself. So give victory to the top martial artist who's supposed to be the king of his group. Okay? That's another way you know that I'm the true king of the Igbos. They haven't done anything, and of all mankind, because no one has done anything comparable to my martial art challenge ever. So I'm the king of kings, and because of tech, breeding, cheating, and generational ill-gotten gains, which everyone is neglecting to tell you, mind you, no one can ever equal or pass what I've done. So this is the end. And the divine verdict, the most important divine verdict, is after my flesh dies, man is sealed in hell, and you're supposed to rally and obey God through me. Thank you. Okay, so really quickly, you're probably wondering why anyone's stupid enough to cheat me, okay, and why they don't just give me my rightful place, especially when the world's doing so bad, society's doing so bad. Well, it's a good question to wonder. It's a good thing to wonder, because obviously they can't gain anything from it, right? There's a bunch of gold diggers anywhere. It's going to be everywhere. And so it's not like they're going to get females from it, because every female's basically a gold digger already anyway. And even if they heard my arguments, and some of them have, quite a few of them have, in fact, doesn't mean they're going to change course. In fact, not a single one of them has. Okay? They already have tons of money. They got $2 trillion in tax breaks from Donald Trump's administration over maybe 8 years or something like that. Okay? They already have tons of money. They have tons of females. Okay? There's gays everywhere. And if the gay guys felt like there wasn't enough gay guys around them, they could build a region and just fill it full of gay people, right? There's lots of things they can do in that regard, right? There's no simple answer. The simplest answer is they're not very smart, right? They've been, from a long line of people who have done people wrong, and the people who were foolish enough to yoke themselves to them, and they don't really use their head, okay? And that's why this is happening the way it is. That's why you have weirdos pretending that they're important martial artists. That's why you have weirdos in various religions who are public figures. That's why not a single public figure is respectable. No offense to anybody, it's just the facts here, okay? In order not to break the rules on YouTube, so they don't take the video down or whatever. That's why that's happening, right? That's why this is happening. Okay, there's a bunch of crazy people with occult philosophies. They basically pretend that they're magicians. They pretend that they're important behind the scenes. They have all kinds of silly ranks in Freemasonry and so on and so forth. And they're not mature people, right? They didn't come from a long line of serious and mature people. They came from a long line of just narcissistic abusers. And if you look into how many narcissists there are and how many psychopaths in corporations, you'll see that, yes, my arguments are precisely sound and sane and rational and well thought out, and it's the result of the most masterful critical thinking ever done in terms of the ideas that I've clinged to. Because a lot of people can come up with these same ideas, but they can't live them the way I have. And that takes a higher level of thinking, a higher level of existing, and no one else comes close. Okay? And in contrast, what they're doing is embracing the essence of folly and not being wise. And so what they're doing is the dumbest thing ever. What they're doing is dishonoring their family and damning them on the highest level to damn them possible, and disgracing them and making them not worthwhile, and ruining their souls and ruining their heritage and reality and so on and so forth. It's unbelievable how stupid what they're doing is. But that is what's going on. That's the reality. You shouldn't, slip into a state of cognitive dissonance. You should accept that this is the reality. And there is no viable counter-argument to the reality that is actually reality, not their fantasy explanations they might come up with.